and trying, but you try it a harder way first. 'Cause you're crying just to make yourself be heard. So keep on collecting all of those tears inside your purse. 'Cause you're trying, but you try it a harder way first. There's a hole where your soul is, hole when I know you're around. I'm not the only to notice what with all of this blood on the ground. Oh, there's a long way to go, long way to go for you to let me down. And if you let me down, oh, there's a long way to go.
Chapter 1, Open Them Doors. In Iylah Lightwood's office at the New York Institute, Mark Trafalgar sits patiently, his demeanor calm and composed despite the anticipation coursing through him. As the door swings open, Iylah strides in, accompanied by his parabatai, Jace Herondale.
Mark, I'd like you to meet Jace.
Iylah says, gesturing towards Jace. Mark rises respectfully, nodding towards Jace.
It's an honor.
He acknowledges, his voice steady and respectful.
Oh, I know it's an honor.
Iylah chuckles, breaking the tension in the room.
Mark here is known for being very to the point.
He remarks, a playful glint in his eyes. Jace smirks, a hint of amusement in his expression.
I can see that.
He replies, his tone tinged with jest. Iyllah's laughter subsides as he clears his throat, signaling a shift in the conversation's tone.
Now, on to business,
he says, drawing their attention.
I want to reopen the Cornwall Institute, and I want you to head it.
Mark's brows furrow slightly in surprise, his gaze shifting between Iylah and Jace.
The Cornwall Institute.
He repeats, a hint of astonishment coloring his voice. Iylah nods, his expression serious.
Yes, it's a historic part of the Nephilim,
he explains.
and I believe it's time to bring it back to life.
Mark's mind races with possibilities, his sense of duty and commitment to the Shadow Hunter cause compelling him to consider Iylah's offer seriously. After a moment of contemplation, he meets Iylah's gaze with determination.
I accept.
Mark says firmly, his voice unwavering.
Thank you for this opportunity.
Jace hands Iylah a stack of papers that he had been holding, and Iylah accepts them with a nod of thanks.
Here's the candidates I think would benefit from going there.
As Iylah looks over the papers, his brows furrow in concentration, scanning the contents intently.
Interesting choices.
Iylah remarks, his tone thoughtful as he peruses the documents. Once satisfied, Iylah nods in approval and passes the papers to Mark.
Here are the first 3 that will be joining you there.
He says, his voice carrying a note of confidence. Mark takes the papers, his eyes quickly scanning the names written on them.
Ace Silverhood, Daisy Coleridge, and fresh from the academy, Logan Kingsmill.
He reads aloud, a flicker of recognition crossing his features. Jace's smile broadens as he nods in confirmation.
That's right.
He says, his voice filled with certainty.
They'll make a solid team.
Mark nods in agreement, his mind already turning to the task ahead.
Thank you, Iylah. I'll make sure they're ready.
He says, his voice resolute.
Sheena, I'm curious to see how our friend Mark, the Red Hornets Ranger, is doing.
Ah, a good question, brother. We should check out his podcast.
Mark has a podcast, Sheena?
Yes, he does, brother. It is known as Nerds Through Comics, where he adapts well-known comics into audio dramas.
Interesting. So that's Nerds Through Comics by the Red Hornets Ranger, correct, sister?
That is correct, brother. We can find it wherever podcasts are located, such as Spotify or Apple. We should definitely take a listen and see how he's doing.
The group, comprising of Mark, Ace, Daisy, and Logan, arrives at the Cornwall Institute courtesy of a portal created by Kiley. As they step through, dust billows up around them, settling on the neglected floors of the once grand establishment. Mark approaches the imposing doors, pushing them open with a creak that echoes through the empty halls.
This place is a dump.
Ace comments, his voice carrying a note of disdain as he surveys their surroundings. Over the next few weeks, the four of them work tirelessly to breathe new life into the Institute, each tackling a different aspect of its renovation. Logan, with his technical expertise, focuses on installing a computer system in the library, bringing the ancient collection of books into the modern age. His fingers fly over the keyboard as he navigates the intricacies of technology, determined to make the Institute's resources accessible to all. Daisy, the bookworm of the group, throws herself into the task of organizing and updating the library's vast collection. With meticulous care, she dusts off forgotten tomes, cataloging them with precision and care, ensuring that no knowledge is lost to the ravages of time. Meanwhile, Ace rolls up his sleeves and gets to work in the weapons room, sorting through the arsenal of blades, bows, and seraph blades with practiced efficiency. His muscles ripple beneath his shirt as he hefts weapons, testing their balance and edge, his determination to arm the Institute's defenders evident in every move. And finally, Mark turns his attention to the greenhouse, transforming it from a neglected space into a vibrant oasis of greenery and life. With skilled hands and a keen eye for design, he tends to the plants, arranging them with care and precision, creating a tranquil retreat for the Institute's inhabitants. Together, the four of them breathe new life into the Cornwall Institute, their combined efforts turning it from a forgotten relic into a thriving hub of shadow hunter activity. And as they stand together, surveying their handiwork, a sense of pride and accomplishment fills the air, a testament to their dedication and determination to make a difference in the world.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, what was that?
That was a tiger's roar, my dear Eric, and I believe that means that soon we will have a new episode of Tiger Tales on YouTube. If you like Power Rangers, Ben 10, Doctor Who, Pokemon, Walking Dead, Tiger Tales is a place for you on YouTube. Tiger, my parabatai, goes out and tells stories that he has written. They are amazing and they must be listened to, my friends. Trust me when I tell you, you will not be sorry.
So, you want me to go listen to Tiger Tales on YouTube, right?
That's correct, Eric. You and everybody else, go check out Tiger Tales on YouTube.
A year has passed since Mark Trafalgar took the reins of leadership at the Cornwall Institute, and under his guidance, the Institute now thrives with great proficiency. Jace and Clary, having visited the Institute on occasion, commend Mark and his team for their remarkable work. Today, however, holds special significance for Mark, as his daughter, Iylah, is set to return from the academy. As the portal shimmers to life, Magnus Bane steps out, his trademark flair evident in every movement. Behind him, two girls follow, one of whom is unmistakably Iylah. The other is Kiley Lovelace.
I do believe these lovely girls belong to all of you.
Magnus jokes, his voice dripping with amusement as he gestures towards Iylah and Kiley. Iylah wastes no time, breaking into a run as she dashes towards her father. With an affectionate smile, she wraps her arms around him in a tight embrace, a rush of warmth flooding through her as she feels his familiar presence.
Hey, Dad!
She says, her voice filled with excitement and joy. Mark returns the embrace, his heart swelling with pride at the sight of his daughter.
Welcome home, Iylah,
he says, his voice choked with emotion. As they pull apart, Iylah's gaze shifts to the others gathered around them, her eyes alight with enthusiasm. With a grin, she turns to Kiley, her closest friend and parabatai, and gestures towards the group.
Hey everyone, this is Kiley,
Iylah announces, her voice bubbling with excitement.
my best friend and parabatai.
Kiley steps forward, her expression warm and welcoming as she extends her hand to the others.
It's great to finally meet all of you,
She says, her voice tinged with anticipation. As Mark sets his eyes on his daughter, a mixture of surprise and concern washes over him.
Your parabatai?
He exclaims, his voice tinged with disbelief. But Iylah's response is swift and decisive.
Yes, Dad. I chose this.
She asserts, her tone firm and unwavering.
I know you'd never find one, but I did, and I am honored to have her as mine.
Her words hang in the air, a testament to her independence and determination to forge her own path in the world of shadow hunters. Logan, however, is quick to interject with a disparaging remark.
Ew, gross. She's a drag. You would not catch me dead one of them as my parabatai.
He barks, his voice laced with contempt. But Kiley is unfazed by his words, her own resolve shining through.
You know, Logan, a lot has changed in the last year.
She retorts, her tone dripping with defiance.
And I could totally take you in a fight now.
As tension crackles in the air, a challenge hangs between them, and as the others watch on, caught in the midst of this clash of wills, the bonds of friendship and loyalty that unite them are put to the test, revealing the strength and resilience that lie within each of them.
Now, children.
Magnus interjects, clapping his hands together with a sense of authority.
Let's do remember you're all on the same side, and my husband would be so mad if all you started killing each other.
He chides, his tone carrying a hint of amusement. Kiley's eyes remain locked on Logan, her determination unwavering as she pleads.
Come on, Mr. Magnus. Let me just show this punk once what I can do.
Logan, bristling with indignation, retorts sharply.
Don't call me a child, I'm 19.
Magnus's smile fades instantly at Logan's outburst.
Oh, my dear boy, you are all children to me,
he remarks, his tone turning solemn.
I may look fabulous, but I am so much older than any of you even know.
He then turns his gaze to Mark, who offers a silent nod of agreement.
Tell me, who is the weapons master here?
Magnus inquires.
That would be me.
Ace declares confidently, stepping forward with a sense of pride. Magnus nods approvingly.
My good man, do we have a place where these two could settle this?
He asks, his eyes sparkling with mischief.
You bet we do.
Ace responds with a grin, already turning to head into the institute.
Peachy.
Magnus replies, his smile returning as he motions for everyone to follow Ace. With a sense of anticipation hanging in the air, they set off together, ready to witness the showdown between Kiley and Logan.
Hey listeners, I'm glad you're enjoying what you're listening to. I'm Billy from Zero to Hero Podcast. I'll always be joined by Jim, and me and him are the Folk and Skull Podcasting. If you definitely like jumping down rabbit holes from week to week of anything that ranging from the old school Power Rangers 90s-esque nostalgia, or we could even be talking about moon landings. So, I know you're interested, so definitely after the show, come check us out. Zeo to Hero Podcast.
Training room. Ace leads everyone to the center where a ring awaits, its boundary marked by white lines on the polished floor.
So how are we playing this? Hand to hand or using weapons?
He inquires, his eyes scanning the group. Logan, his expression determined, gestures to Kiley, allowing her to make the choice. With a nod of agreement, Kiley opts for hand-to-hand combat, her confidence shining through. Ace nods in approval, his lips curling into a grin.
All right then,
he says, his voice carrying a hint of excitement.
The first to tap out or gets pinned loses.
As Logan and Kiley step into the ring, Iylah watches from the sidelines, her eyes alight with anticipation. With a cheer, she rallies behind Kiley, her voice echoing through the room. The two opponents square off, their movements fluid and precise as they circle each other, searching for an opening. Each strike and block is met with equal force, the sound of their blows reverberating through the room. But as the battle rages on, Logan begins to grow overconfident, his guard slipping ever so slightly. Sensing an opportunity, Kiley seizes her chance, executing a swift sweep kick that sends Logan crashing to the floor. The room erupts in cheers as Kiley pins Logan down, her foot pressed firmly against his throat. Magnus and Iylah burst into laughter at the sight, their amusement infectious. But Logan's pride cannot bear the humiliation, and with a surge of anger, he moves to retaliate. Before anyone can react, Ace steps in with lightning speed, locking Logan in an arm hold and pulling him back.
Not so fast there, kiddo.
Ace admonishes, his voice firm but calm.
You lost. Now do the honorable thing and accept it.
With Ace's intervention, the tension in the room begins to dissipate.
This podcast is a production of the Three Ranger Bros Studios, in association with Zio to Hero, the podcast.
Thank you all for listening to that story. I hope you enjoyed it. Just a reminder that all my fanfictions are just that, fanfictions, and does not mean to infringe on the mainstream continuity that it's from. Now, I'd like to take a little bit of time to thank all those that support me. First off, you have the Three Ranger Bros Studio, which consists of myself, CosplayDude637, my parabatai and dear friend, Ty Tiger, with all his YouTube channels, Tiger Tales, and his new podcast, the Tiger Nexus Podcast. Then, of course, last but definitely not least, we have Mark, the Red Cornish Ranger, with his podcast, Nerds Through Comics. And then there's the guys at Zio to Hero, the podcast, Jim and Billy, the bulk and skull of podcasting. Anything nerdy you think you have ever talked about, I guarantee they have an episode about it. So definitely go check them out. Then we have Jared over on If You Give a Dad a Podcast. An amazing guy, a dad like myself that just loves talking to nerdy people about every subject. So definitely go give him a listen also. Then there's Jacob, aka the Iron Avenger, on TikTok and Instagram. We also have to give a shout out to Ben, the Baker Ranger. And last but not least, there is Tony, our good friend. And an honorable mention to the late, great Rebel Ranger, Sam. We love you, we miss you. Every person I just mentioned is a member of the Zio to Hero network. Now, I'm going to take a little bit of time to mention some of the friends of the Zio to Hero network. First off, we have Casey from the Mighty Morphin Conspiracy Theories, Justin, aka A-Crown, from the Author's Crown YouTube channel, Johnson of Western Strike, Rob, aka Lightning Collector 2021, James, better known as Beauty_Baba Yaga, Justin the Green Spartan Ranger, and Michael and Nathan of the Power Trip. Everyone I just named has been a huge supporter to me and my podcast, and if you can, go give them a follow. It would mean the world to me. Thanks a lot. Until next time, guys. Later days.